And I'm Christina Rodenbeck, and this is my friend Sally Kirkman, and we're here to talk about Aquarius.
Yeah.
A great sign.
Yeah, great sign. Complex sign. Aquarius.
Well, it's one of the signs that now has two rulers, which makes it complicated in the first place. And they are two rulers which are so completely different.
I mean, yeah, opposite ends of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Couldn't be more different. I mean, that makes, so you can never quite be sure with Aquarius what type of Aquarius you're going to get.
Exactly. So one of the rulers is Saturn, which is old father time. And Saturn is all about rules and regulations and boundaries and all of that stuff.
And systems as well, I think.
Systems.
I think that's the type of Aquarius who's very, the scientist, the person who loves working with systems, the techie type.
Yeah, but there's a Uranian side to that too, isn't there? Because the other ruling planet is Uranus, which is a planet associated with science, with breakthroughs, with eureka moments.
Yeah.
So, but combine those two.
Yeah,
Saturn and Uranus, and then you really get your scientist, don't you?
You do. But Uranus is so different to Saturn, isn't it? Because Uranus is the rebel, the revolutionary, hates rules, hates regulations, constantly breaking them, constantly going off doing her own thing.
Yeah, it's about liberation, isn't it?
And freedom. So yeah, I mean, if as an Aquarius you feel pulled in this, I just want to be part of the group. Oh no, I don't want to be part of the group. I want to be a rebel. That is the Aquarius dichotomy right there going on. And that for me is one of the big Aquarius themes. I think often growing up, Aquarius can feel like an outsider trying to find, where do I fit in? I don't belong anywhere. I'm very different to these people, this group. And it is kind of, it's like a life journey in a way, trying to find your tribe, your people.
Yeah, I think that's right. And as an Aquarius, you want to fit in, this is one of the people signs. On one level, you really do. You want to find the tribe. It's not that you want to sort of sit out there like a hermit, and it's not like Capricorn, which is very hermity, although Aquarius can end up doing that as well.
Yeah.
But Aquarians are team players. They really are, wherever Aquarius is in your chart, or if you have planets in Aquarius, there's part of you that likes being part of a team. And if you can find the right team as an Aquarius, fantastic. Whether that's a dance troupe or, in a lab, it doesn't matter, but it is really helpful to find the team.
Yeah. And I think that's for me also a very key Aquarius thing, is that Aquarians often have a wide circle of friends, and they come from so many different backgrounds and places, and they often have this diversity of friendship, and they can get on with everybody. And a typical Aquarius loves bringing different people together.
Yeah,
just loves it. Everybody's inclusive. It's very much a community sign, isn't it?
Absolutely. And a sign that's all about fairness and equality.
Yeah.
Unlike, again, the previous sign, Capricorn, which is about hierarchies. Aquarius sees systems. It's a very system oriented. It's like an engineering sign. But they like a flat hierarchy. So they like flattened, they love networks of people. This is the sign of networking of the internet.
Yeah.
Of the social network that we're in at the moment. How we're all equalized by it. We're put on a more equal level. I mean, and this is completely contrary to what's gone before. It's also a sign that's associated with the common man or woman, the ordinary person, as opposed to its opposite sign, Leo, which is the sign of the royalty.
Yeah.
With Aquarius, you're talking about ordinary people. I'm not saying that Aquarians are always ordinary people, but it can mean that Aquarians have a kind of common touch. They can talk to anybody on an equal level, and it's really charming.
They have an affinity with all types of people at their best, and and I think it's partly that gives Aquarius this ability to, so many Aquarians work in humanitarian groups or, environmental. They're kind of, there's a key about they want to find their place within society and make a difference in that way as well.
Yes, various, we cannot talk about celebrities on this, but various talk show hosts who shall remain nameless are Aquarians. And that's having the common touch, but wanting to bring people together. It has all of these Aquarian things, wanting to bring people together and being egalitarian and actually making a difference in the world. You do find, I mean, that that it's a genuine desire to make a difference, and it may actually have a practical side to it. And I think that's the Saturn. So the Uranus has the great idea of how am I going to make the world a better place? It's going to be by everybody, you know, planting mushrooms in their garden. But the Saturn side of the Aquarius will figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah, when it's working well, when the two planets are working well together, it's fantastic. You have the innovations, and you know how to drop the business plan to get the company going and save the world almost. I mean, it's you know, it is very effective in that way. I think also there's the type of Aquarius who is the dropout hippie. Age of Aquarius, if you go and watch the musical Hair, if you've never seen that, for the 60s, time of free sex, freedom, bring the system down. I think that is also a very key Aquarius archetype. So there are some people, again, who really don't want to fit in and conform to society or, be part of the status quo. That is also an Aquarius.
And then they may end up finding their own tribe outside the thing. I mean, one of the things that's interesting about, or important to think about when you're thinking about Aquarius, is it's a fixed air sign. And that's okay, that's weird. What's fixed air mean? How does that work? And electricity is one thing that's associated with that, but it can end up having quite fixed ideas. So in the same way, well, in a different way than Capricorn, like the opposite of Capricorn, Aquarians can start off very avant-garde. So the avant-garde is also associated with Aquarius. It's a future-oriented sign, but then end up being quite rigid in their old age. I think it was Robert Frost who said, I was never a rebel in my youth because for fear of becoming conservative in my old age. And that can happen to Aquarians.
Okay, and that's quite interesting. I like that. And it is, it's interesting that in this, talking about Aquarius, we're talking about a lot how different it is from Capricorn. I mean, all the star signs are different when they move around, the one before and the one after. But I think for Capricorn and Aquarius, it is because Aquarius has Capricorn's planet and Uranus, there is this battle going on in a way between the two different archetypes of the star signs. I also want to add, with, I think Aquarius more than anybody, it's kind of, they have this, you think you're right, I know I'm right. I think that's where, we're talking Aquarius, they know they're right. They've done the research. They've found out all the knowledge. I know I'm right. And there's that it's almost, they can be quite dogmatic in their
fixed
knowingness.
That's the shadow, isn't it? Yeah. The shadow side of Aquarius is actually also having some pretty weird ideas. That end up being, I mean, so you need to question yourself as an Aquarius, is this weird idea a really great weird idea, or is it actually just la la at this point?
Although sometimes Aquarians can be, they can have these really sort of futuristic ideas, and it's only in the next few generations that they'll be found out to be right. So, or
wrong. I mean, I definitely think it goes both ways, actually. And the problem is the fixity. So, you need to find the flexibility if you're an Aquarius, and that the flexible, keep your mind flexible. And that, and one way of doing that is by hanging out with younger people.
Which I think Aquarians do a lot. The ones
Aquarians
I know, they
do it a lot.
Again, it's this being able to mix with anyone. It's different ages as well. The other shadow side, I think, of Aquarius is that they can be real airheads. Too much. They can detach from emotions and kind of live in their head or live on their phone, actually. I mean, the social media can be a bit of a black hole for Aquarius. So, it is important to sometimes come out of the mind, come out of the world of thought and thinking and ideas and information, and reconnect with the heart for Aquarius.
And actually, it's interesting when you talk to sort of Aquarian people with Aquarian moons, is that they're just as sensitive and have their feelings hurt just as much as anybody else. But sometimes they can have a harder time accessing that.
I agree.
And
so it's
that's
learning to access their emotions,
Yeah,
isn't it,
because they're
actually?
there. And
Yeah.
so they don't have, it's interesting, there's Aquarian cool, which is like a kind of hipster cool, but that's very different from Capricorn cold. Yeah.
Yeah, pretending everything's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.